Hey, it's Greg Luther, and I'm here in Rochester, New York with one of the top-selling real estate agents, Miss Sharon Q from Sharon Q Realty. How you doing today?
I'm good, thanks.
Perfect. I know you're labeled as one of the top producers in the area, and you've been doing this for a long, long time. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your real estate career.
So I've been selling real estate for over 30 years. My team and myself have helped thousands of families move from their starter home to their luxury home.
Okay. Very good. And how long have you been running the team that you have currently? I know you've got a fairly small but productive team. Tell me a little bit about that, who's on the team, a little bit about job descriptions, and you've kind of moved up the ladder. I know you work a lot of waterfront properties. Tell us a little bit about that.
So some of our teammates have been with me for over 20 years. We're consistently in the top 5 of our real estate board. I have several of my family members, my kids, that I get to spend every day with. Mm-hmm.
Very good. How long have you been in Rochester yourself?
My whole life.
Your whole life. So you know the areas for sure.
I do.
Okay. And I know there's quite a difference in price range for your marketplace as well. Everything from those lower end starter homes all the way up to what you kind of specialize in now, those waterfront properties. Tell me a little bit about that. What type of waterfront properties do you customarily sell? Are there a lot of them in the Rochester area?
So yeah, in Rochester, it's actually been coined as one of the most affordable areas to own a home. And you can start in your starter home under $100,000 and go all the way up to millions of dollars. Our waterfront property has some that are consistently in the $1 million range.
Okay, very good. And tell me about your team itself. Now, I know you've got some of your children working there. They came up in real estate, obviously. They were real estate as toddlers, so they might as well be as an adult. And they're probably some of the most productive you have as well. What's it like working with family every single day? That must be some days good, some days bad, right?
Yeah, most days great. I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, I look at it as a blessing. I'm so fortunate to be able to see my adult children every day of my life, but they are fantastic realtors.
So the Rochester market itself, tell me a little bit about kind of what the team capacity is. Do you customarily do the listings? Do you work on certain areas of town more than others? Tell me a little bit about kind of the dynamic of the team and the area that you work.
Sure. So as the team lead, I have consistently worked on the listing side of the business, and then the rest of the teammates work as buyer specialists. So we all have our expertise. And then we have a fantastic executive assistant that kind of keeps it all together. Okay.
And doing this over 30 years, you've probably had a lot of past clients and repeat clients that come back to you. Heck, at this point, you've probably got some of their children that you guys are working with. So I know you've built quite the reputation in town, and that's something that you're proud of. I've seen a lot of press releases and news articles about yourself and the team, and you definitely take great pride in what you guys do. So I know that having the team partially being family members, they can uphold that high level of service. Is that kind of what your goal was in bringing them on and making sure they do the same thing you've done for over 30 years?
Absolutely. You know, to be able to pass on what it is that I've had the good fortune of doing for over 30 years to the next generation has been amazing. And really our motto is just to earn the trust and confidence of every one of those buyers and sellers.
Now, from an educational-based standpoint, I know a lot of times when you meet with a homeowner throughout the Rochester area, you're teaching them a little bit about how they can sell their home for more money. They might be able to squeeze an extra $10,000 or $15,000 out of their home sale. And I know a lot of that has to do with the real estate agent that they choose. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of what you teach them?
It's really critical that a homeowner picks a realtor who's familiar with their neighborhood and also somebody with experience, so they really understand the market conditions that are volatile at times. Also, I like to give advice on staging so that the house is presented in its best light so that we can hopefully get the most amount of money for it.
Very good. And I know, you know, a lot of the agents I've met with around the country, they've always pointed out that someone that has experience like yourself, you've seen the ups and downs, the good markets, the bad markets, whereas a younger real estate agent has never seen that before. All they know is the last 6 months of the marketing or the marketplace itself. Do you find that that plays a big role for you in kind of counseling the homeowner as far as, is now the best time to sell? Should we wait till next year, a different season? Do you find that that experience makes a big difference for you?
Absolutely. Because homeowners really rely on me interpreting those numbers for them so that they can then best decide what is together we can decide what's the best marketing approach and the best price tag.
And tell me a little bit about your marketing. I know you've got quite the market share. Everything in town shows Sharon Q. You've got a premier spot, so you pick up a lot of home buyers that are interested in buying in the area. Your office itself is in a great location. Tell me a little bit about the marketing that you do, and how do you customarily expose some of the properties that you have listed?
We have a whole menu of marketing that we start right from day one, from our high quality sign that has reflective lettering so that it grabs the attention of every passerby, all the way to some sophisticated programs like target marketing, so we identify the customer that's really ideal for that property.
Yeah, and I know that's a big thing, finding that most opportune buyer. We don't just want to get a lot of people into a property. We need the most opportune buyer that's going to pay the most amount of money. Digital is a big thing these days. So online, I've always told any of the homeowners that I speak with, you gotta Google some of these people. You gotta check them out. I know you have a pretty good presence online as well, some educational videos. A lot of the marketing you do is digital, direct to the consumer, whether it be the home buyer or the home seller. How have you seen that change over the last over 30 years? We didn't have internet back in the day, everybody starts there now. I know that you've kind of been on the forefront of making sure that you're still relevant online and one of the premier agents. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. That is a buyer's first look, and oftentimes the seller is doing research so that they're trying to best determine who they should be working with, how they should position themselves in the market. Absolutely, online is critical.
I know there's a big problem for a lot of homeowners. They think they should go with the biggest name in town or the name that everybody knows, but they don't realize that what the buyers are seeing is not that. Only the homeowners see that. So if you're trying to get to the best buyers, you've got to do some online research and see, if I were a home buyer in this area, who would I come across? Who has the biggest presence? Is that why you've kind of positioned yourself that way? And are you seeing a difference in the deal flow or the number of buyers that you get for your listings that way?
Of course. We're just trying to make sure that we're making ourselves available, and so that everyone's aware of what it is that we have to offer, because we really believe that our team makes a significant difference in the transaction.
So you've kept a fairly small team. You've got a highly productive team, and I know they're all hard workers as well, and they represent the same values as you. So tell me a little bit about that. What should a homeowner expect when you send someone out there?
This team I love and respect, and they share the same values as I do. So when a homeowner reaches out and they get one of the teammates, they can have every bit of confidence that they are getting the same level of service they might expect from me.
Very good. And I know that over the years you've kind of moved yourself up in price ranges, and you work in the luxury market as well as the waterfront market, which is a fairly niche market. You really need to know what you're doing in Rochester, selling those waterfront properties. Tell me a little bit about the price ranges and why you like selling families that are interested in the waterfront properties.
Our waterfront ranges from a minimal price range all the way up to in the millions. And when a buyer gets to that point in their life, it really is almost a trophy house. They've earned the right to be able to enjoy the serenity of being on Lake Ontario.
Absolutely. And that's a big lake as well, right?
It is.
Okay, very good. You yourself live on the lake, and I'm sure you know a lot of homeowners that live on the lake as well. I know that some of the top producing realtors, they generally get an inside track to unlisted homes. Do you find that you'll find a secret or a hush listing type property someone's thinking of maybe selling, so you can get priority access for buyers that might be interested?
I do, and as I develop the relationships for people that live on the water, certainly there are times that I am privy to something that might be coming up.
I know it's always, in real estate, it's about who you know, right?
It is.
The last thing you want to do is just be looking on the MLS or Realtor.com or whatever. You may not be seeing some of the best properties. So having a top producing real estate team that's representing you can make a tremendous difference in finding that dream home you're looking for.
Absolutely, always.
So this looks like a very unique opportunity for homeowners in the Rochester area to get with you and your team and at least do a quick interview. I know a lot of times you're selective on the projects that you'll take on as well from a marketing perspective. If someone wants to speak with you or do a little research as to what it is that you can do for them, how can they best reach you?
Absolutely. Sharon at SharonQ.com or our website, SharonQ.com. Or you can always reach us at 585-900-1111.
Easy phone number. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.